Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are going to crack the code on one of the most useful tools you can have in Spanish, the near future tense. Seriously, it's so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. I promise, by the end of this, you'll be using it. Let's dive in.
So, have you ever wanted to chat about what you're doing later today or this weekend, but you just get stuck trying to remember all those complicated verb endings? Yeah? Well, you are in exactly the right place because there is a super easy way to do it.
Here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the simple path to the future. Then, we'll cover the two main building blocks you'll need. After that, we'll get into building positive sentences, the negatives, and questions. We'll put it all into practice, and we'll finish up with your keys to mastering this whole thing.
First up, a simple way to the future. They call this the going to tense for a reason. And if you speak English, that should sound really familiar because it's pretty much a direct translation of how we do it. Okay, so the near future tense is exactly what it sounds like. It's for talking about things that are gonna happen soon. It's the Spanish way of saying, I am going to do something. And look at that formula. It's so simple. All you need is your subject, a form of the verb ir, the little word a, and then the main action verb. That's it.
So let's zoom in on section 2, the two building blocks. To really get this, there are only two things you need to have down pat, the verb ir and what an infinitive verb is. Let's break them down right now.
And here we go. This right here is the hardest part, which, isn't hard at all. This is just the present tense of the verb ir, which means to go. Think of this as the engine of the whole phrase. It's the part that changes depending on who is doing the action. So, yo voy, tú vas, and so on. This is the only word you ever have to conjugate.
And the second ingredient, it's even easier. It's just an infinitive verb. The basic, straight out of the dictionary version of any verb. The kind that ends in ar, or ir. So like comer to eat, estudiar to study, or bailar to dance. Piece of cake. All right, section 3. Now for the really fun part, let's put those two building blocks together and actually start making sentences about the future. This lays it out perfectly. It's basically a simple 4-step recipe. Step 1, pick who you're talking about. Let's say yo for I. Step 2, grab the right form of ir, which is voy. Step 3, pop in the little connector a. And step 4, add whatever you're going to do, like estudiar. Put it all together, yo voy a estudiar. I am going to study. See? So simple.
Let's try another one. What if we're talking about him? Okay, so we start with él. The right form of ir is va. Then we add our connector, a, and what's he gonna do? He's gonna comer pizza. So, él va a comer pizza. He is going to eat pizza. Perfect.
What about for we? Well, we start with nosotros, so the verb becomes vamos. Nosotros vamos a leer un libro. We are going to read a book. Are you starting to see the pattern here? Once you get this down, you can create a ton of sentences about all your plans. Okay, now this is the single most important rule to remember. That second verb, the action verb, it always stays in its basic infinitive form. We only conjugate ir. Whatever you do, do not touch that second verb. Leave it alone. Okay, moving on to section 4, negatives and questions. Because let's be real, you're not always going to be doing things, right? Sometimes you're not going to do something. So let's add a little more flavor to our sentences. Making a sentence negative is, I'm not kidding, the easiest thing ever. All you do is take the word no and you stick it right before the conjugated form of ir. That's it. So, ellos van a venir becomes ellos no van a venir. No other changes. It's that easy. Asking questions is also super straightforward. For a simple yes or no question, you can often just change your tone of voice, make it go up at the end. Or you can swap the subject and the verb, like vas tú a estudiar? And if you want to know more information, just put a question word like qué, what, or dónde, where, right at the very beginning. Like, ¿qué vas a hacer? What are you going to do? Okay, section 5. Time to put this into practice. You've seen all the rules. Now let's get your brain working and actually try it out. Ready? All right, first one. How would you fill in these blanks to say, I am going to study Spanish? Yo voy a estudiar español. What are the two words that go right in the middle? And the answer is, yo voy a estudiar español. You need voy to go with yo, and then that little connector word, a. Hope you got it. Okay, let's try a negative one. How would you translate, she is not going to eat lunch? Remember where that little word no has to go.
Take a second, think about it.
And the answer is ella no va a almorzar. Ella goes with va, and that important no goes right before it. Awesome job.
And here we are, Section 6, your keys to mastery. Let's just lock in everything we've talked about with a few final, really important tips.
So, let's recap the big takeaways. First, and I'm going to say it one more time because it's that important, never conjugate that second verb. Keep it in the infinitive. Second, for negatives, just pop that no right before the form of ir. Third, to make your sentences even better, add time expressions like mañana for tomorrow or esta noche for tonight. And finally, don't just say what you're going to do. Practice asking questions too. It makes conversations way more interesting.
And that's pretty much it. So now I get to ask you, using the exact skill you just learned. ¿Y tú? ¿Qué vas a hacer hoy? And you, what are you going to do today? Go ahead, try to answer in Spanish. You can do it.